سبحان ذي الملك والملكوت سبحان ذي العزة والعظمة والهيبة والقدرة والكبرياء
أهلا وسهلا وحياكم الله وكل عام وأنتم بخير ما شاء الله تبارك الله. اليوم 24 من شهر 9 1447 هجري والموافق يوم السبت، وهي توافق يوم 14 من 3 1400 2026. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to our beautiful mothers and our beautiful fathers, our handsome fathers, would we say, and all the beautiful souls of the city as we come to you on this beautiful moment of the 24th of Ramadan 1447, corresponding with the 14th of March 2026. On the Yawm Sabbath, the Sabbath, as we await the descension of the moon and the sun. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided us between the dark and the light, we are now in the bliss of understanding whom of us had received a call from the heavens when COVID was sent to us. Okay, this is clear evidence. You can only be honest with yourself, people. Here you cannot lie to Allah. Okay, only Allah knows who He called home. Only Allah knows who was on the level of returning to a higher order. Okay, who was on that borderline where they could cross over and be part of the migrational patterns that is now unfolding in our lives. Today we will explain to you what is happening here, because due to the fact that many of you did not get tickets to come to the game, okay, you did not get a ticket to wake up. You did not get a ticket to understand where you were supposed to be at this moment of your conscious upgrade of awareness. Okay. So when you get the phone call, when you get the calling from the Sama, when you get your allocation, okay, this is something that works with you throughout your life, people. We are giving you so that the soul tribes will understand. So when they come to the next reset in the next 1,000 years, then at least they get the amana. They understand, because we know that the parents don't understand. We know the caliber of their parents, people. Okay? So we have to do this for the soul children so that they understand that it wasn't a matter of their parents that didn't know. They were of the tribes people. They were of the ancient mothers. They were of the authentic fathers and children who was still engulfed in their authentic orientations. Okay. Most of you will not understand this because, unfortunately, we must be honest with you guys. We are behind the screens now today because you have no understanding of how to drive your vehicles. Okay, hence you are in a political, spiritual war. When you are engaged in your political arena and what is happening outside of you in another land where you have been captured by the patriarch, ayahs of Allah, the ayatullahs, okay? When you are out there finding a legitimacy to shoot off your adversary who you think is the Americans, okay? You have no other adversary but yourself. You are the only enemy of yourself. People get that straight. Allah is not going to call James Bond or Roger Moore or whoever you want to classify as your adversary. It's only you and yourself in Qiyam. Those who got the call, those who got the calling to come home, they are in the age of Qiyam. Everybody wants to be in Qiyam. The Pope will leave this, the Predicant will leave this, the Ayatollah will leave this, the Sheikh will leave this, the Khalif. But it's only who Allah call, people. Understand what I'm saying to you, people. This is not in anybody's hands. You must have done the work throughout your different lives to be given such a upgrade. Okay? Because we want to be part of Qiyam, because here you're going to know the secrets, the magic of the universe. You're going to get your special lenses. You're going to get your special diplomatic passports. You cannot be arrested after this, guys. Okay? Understand what I'm saying to you, people. You are only electromagnetic. You are supposed to understand the data feeds that comes into you from the divine source, who is all one. There is no God, not except Allah. There is no gods. Finish. All is one. That is what you must come to. Okay? Now, during your ascension period, when you are given the nomination to be part of the homecoming team, okay, then most of the things that you will witness will be between you and what you witness. You don't say that to anybody, my children. My dear child, my inner child, you don't divulge that to anybody, because that's the secret between you and the heavens. Okay? Don't be as stupid as what the Hollywood stars were. Okay? Don't be as stupid as those who follow religions, because they don't know what spirituality is. They were not given the baton. Okay? There was a time in your lives, that in our lives, where we had to adhere to the spiritual contracts. Okay, that's how the events unfolds. Once we complete that portion of our lives, then we go to the next event. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And Allahu Akbar walillahi alhamd. It took 3 anchors to get us into the bay. Okay, and whilst we are now in the bay, we have a what do you call that view? We have a sea view. Okay. Yeah. Now, before you get to this stage, sorry, you have to detach yourself of everything that was a part of your illusional, ego-driven identity. Okay, and reality. Okay, you have to get rid of 99% of the things that kept you down. Okay, whether you had a Rolex watch, or whether you had a Mercedes car, or whatever made you think who you were, you have to detach from those things. Okay, if you had certain things which was on your name, and that gave you weight and that gave you effect, you have to detach from it. You cannot acquire it. You have to let it go. Okay. Most of the time, you don't even want to have money in return, because you know what you are getting in return, other than things which is material. Okay. I'm just giving to you and unfolding to you the process that happens to those who are chosen to go on the Isra and the Mi'raj. Okay. These are not for people that went 100 years. These are those who are chosen. ثُمَّ أَوْرَثَنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. It's not the people who you find along your journey. You meet the prophecies, you get the naba, you get the information, you get the upgrades, you get the data streams. Now you get to understand who is Bani Israel. There was never Bani Israel on the outside. You had to understand where is your authentic tribe from. There was never a Masjid al-Aqsa in another land, people, man. The idea is, when you closed your masjids, when you closed your synagogues on 2020, when you went into the lowest form of a reality and an unconscious mode, you lost vision, you lost credibility, you lost essence, you lost identity. You lost yourselves as a civilization. So from that jid, you see, is must comes from the word touch, something which you have to feel. Okay, jid means something you have to find, something new, something which is jadid. Okay, that's where ajdad comes from. And now when we put the two words together, mas, la yamassuha, Massun and jaddun, jiddun, okay? Yeah, jadidun, yajidun, wujudun, okay? Now you have to realize that you have to evaluate your condition since you closed your mosque of God. Okay, that God that you closed his mosque was the most unfit God to have shot himself in the foot. No God shoots himself in the foot unless you don't understand the game. Okay. Now, when you get that signal from the heavens that that God has now terminated himself by allowing those worshippers to self commit suicide and render him unfit, then you must know that that God has turned into a idol. Okay, you would you would sacrifice your God for money. You would go to ShopRite in a normal vehicle, but you would not go to your mosque where you believed your salvation was. Okay? Look, you can't divert the story. It's already written. Okay? What you and I had witnessed here is God scripted. You just had to create the narrative in the backdrop. Okay? So the what further plasticizes your civilization is that we buried our mothers in plastic bags. No other civilization had ever done. Okay, so by now you should know that your verdict is going to be passed in the next few moments. Okay, you made it religious whilst it was metaphysical. It was a metaphysical matter which attacked your biofields. Okay, that was how a new age was birthed. Okay, that is how those who were given tickets on the train, they could come home. Okay, they would get rid of whatever things keeps them, whether it's their husband, they would divorce their husband, whether it's their wife, they would divorce their wife. This is what it takes, guys. Whether it's their business, they will give up their business, and whether it's their children, they'll give up their children. This is what it takes to be part of this migrational modulation. Okay, in the real age where we are currently heading into, because this is now qiyam, people. We are in yawm al-qiyam. ولكن أكثر الناس لا يؤمنون, because most of you don't understand what يوم القيامة is. You just follow like blindly because you found your mother, your father. So unfortunately, we cannot help you and you cannot help us. Here it is who knows themselves. Okay, here you can understand how religion had damaged your spiritual essence and your spiritual welfare. Okay, how it could not allow you to grow, to expand, and to develop. How you could not go directly into the chambers of the divine and become wahdat al wujud. You could become one with the divine frequency. Okay? Here, your doubt, which you casted, which you accused yourself with, where you are now punishing yourself with, that evaporates because you are now able to find the answers that the heavens will supply you as to why you did it, because you were able to confront your worst fears. Okay? The heaven modules you to be compliant for the conditions of Qiyam. Okay? You can't do it by yourself. It's not possible. You wouldn't know it. I wouldn't have known it. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Okay? Yeah, you cannot use your past logic. You have to allow the heavens to guide you. You have to get your intuition sharpened. So once you are purified, and once the doubt and the fear and the sex magic and the sexual issues, and you basically, guys, you are alone. You can't be much associated to the outside world because you are going now into this strait. You are now in the Hormuz Strait. You are now in the jugular the jugular vein. Okay, this is death or alive. Not many of you are going to survive it because most of you are contaminated. It's either you have women issues, you have money issues, you have possession issues. Some of you believe you are gods when you are religion, yani, habilitated. Some of you make decisions on behalf of people and think that they are not fit enough to know. So most, yani, these kind of things that has happened in your lives was the cause for you to be disqualified from Yom Al Qiyamah. Not everybody gets to come into Yom Al Qiyamah when the referee blows the whistle. Understand what I'm telling you, people. You must have the credentials to come in. Okay? If you don't make it to it, you go back to where you come from, and then the nightmare becomes worse as to what it is happening now. Okay? Now you are sitting on the main stand now, whilst you are very you are very humble, very modest, very human. To get to this stage, people, you must live with the poor. You must live with the destitute. You must give up everything that you consider as pride. Okay, you can't have the old friends. You can't. You can't. You can't. You just have to go with where you are being sanctioned to be. Okay, and now you will find that they do are their willingness, their fields are pure. They have pure fields, those people, mashallah. They are pure souls of the soul of the city. Okay, because they are carrying the DNA of the ancestors. They are pure souls, mashallah. Now you get to see the game. Okay, you get to see who are the players and who are the adversaries, and how you were once upon a time tangled, and how the scholars have been compromised because they sold their souls. Okay? Those who you thought were bad, you're going to understand how good they are because you had judged them outside of Qiyamah. And you must understand the only one that can give judgment on Qiyamah is the one that speaks the truth. Okay? This is the condition where your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren are now in conscious witnessing you being expelled from this moment because you were playing in favor of the adversary. Although you were ignorant, you became complacent and you became arrogant. And you used the text to your disadvantage. Okay? You caused divide and rule. You made yani first and place. You made your God bias. Okay, and this was your and my indictment in this Qiyam age. Okay, now what will happen now is because it's a jugular wa nahnu aqrabu ilayhi min hablil warid. The Hormuz Strait is the jugular of the planet that you're in now, and it's being choked now. Okay, you all know what's coming. Okay, embrace, guys, embrace for impact, because now everything from this moment onwards becomes double the amount. Okay, the oil cannot come out of the strait, which means now you're gonna have to go into where you're going to share certain responsibilities. You cannot get too much oil now going forward. Okay, you have to be limited in consumption. Now your prices of the commodities will go triple the amount. Now what you're seeing now is nothing, people. This is the fall of the age, people, for the new ages to come in. That's why the ayatullah had to die, and the new ayatullah mujtaba, Allahu yajtabi him. Okay, understand, you're not reading your Qurans, people, because you are caught up in the Jahannam, in the unconscious realms, because you were not allowed to come onto the grandstand. You don't know what's happening. They are playing you like crazy out there. Okay? Now, what you are now witnessing is that you are now giving yourself over to the victor. Okay? The patriarchs now. Okay? They will take the narrative of a god. And Iran is a religion, people. It is what you understand as a old empire, but that is what they represent in the cosmic adventure of this earth. They're a strong spiritual force, okay, and they are intensively intelligent. If you must know who runs this planet, you will fall on your back. But that's the secrets. We don't speak to you what is the secrets. You have to find that from your gods. Okay. You and I now will have to understand that on this level of reality now, there is no enemy. You can only be your own enemy if you have not resolved your issues that you had combated with yourself, because Allah did not create a fictional reality. Allah made it real. Okay? And what makes it real is when you stick to the truth and when you love for things for yourself what you love for others. Okay, now you're channeling into the main game, the main event. That's the main event. The main event is not the fall of the age. The main event is for you to be part of the new restart. Okay, where can you now, by your fullest comprehension of a reality and awareness, choose where your next 7 generations must be aligned to. Okay, that's Islam that you're talking about, not what you faked in earth. That's what you made legitimate in Jahannam and made it a person give you a fatwa that you can close the mosque. That kind of BS you do in hell. Okay, you don't get such fatwas in Jannah because Allah is the master. You don't need to still go to a man to tell him whether you must get the right to close a mosque or a church. No ways. That was always of wanting you to understand that your adversary was using you, and those that has gone through the religious battles, they had to come to the spiritual senses and the quantum expressions. Okay, quantum is the qiyam, it's the loop of the age. It is now for you to see, can you rook the pipe? Kan jy wys waar qiyamah is? You always wanted to give judgment to this person, that person is mal. We're asking you, come into the qiyamah stage. Come, see who you are. Do you have the fiber? Do you have the connections? Do you have the broadband? Do you have the intelligence? Do you have the intel that has been downloaded so that you can know who is Allah? But because you don't know who you were and who you are, because you were not called to attend to the ceremony. Now, when you're not invited people, then what happens is that the distractions beneath has to take you down. Okay, so you must understand, if you are worried about the whole, if you are there where the whole is, if you don't understand what is unfolding here, you have been put in the deepest of spells by your adversary since 2014. Okay, you cannot feel. Your biological fields has now been turned into bionic fields because of the network that runs through you, the Wi-Fi's in your homes, the electronic devices that has remodeled your authentic fields. Okay, this was warned to you in the beginning. Wallahi al-Azim, you cannot now today ask what the hell, where the hell is this going to? You can only be taught by Allah, because Allah وَعَلَّمَ الْإِنسَانَ مَا لَمْ يَعْلَمْ. You can't be taught by someone that did not create your mind. Your mind, it's all about your mind here now. Okay, and how well you were acquainted with the allegories and the mythologies of the scriptures. Okay, you had to love the Quran, man. You had to love this book, because this book was the truth. If you love yourself, you love the truth. And if you love the truth, you will get access to the authentic rhythms, which is the Quran. Okay? It's not being biased, it's not being political, it's being authentic. And it's being real for you to understand that Qiyamah can only happen when you wake up, not when you are dead. Now that you are ghaibun, you are absent here. They're asking, where is Ibrahim? Hy het nie gekom nie. Waar is Latif? Hy het nie gekom nie. Waar is Hawa? Sy het nie gekom nie. And where are you? And you were given the necessary precautionary pre-warning. Okay? So here we are going now, people. This is upwards for the soul tribes, because this is their spiritual age. Okay, they grow here. They find the authentic rhythms again. They expand and they invest in their ancestral lineage and inheritance. Okay, whilst the adversary will now find themselves in a height of of collapse. Okay, your monies are going to become worthless. You're going to believe that the God that was supposed to come and help you had left you in the lurch. Okay, so all those things that you believed about gods and religion is not going to be able to take it. You go back to your deen. Understand what the deen, the fitra is. Qasam Wallahi. I'm pre-warning you people. Go back to your deen. You must know your deen. Your deen is the best that your father, your mother taught you between the age of 0 and 7. That's your deen, because that's where your nervous system was still intact. You would not be fearing something which was synthetic. You would know who you are. You would know where Jannah is. You would know where Allah is. You would be in your natural space, your authentic sovereign space. You needed to come there in order to be on the grandstand. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So, all praise to our ancestors, yani, walillahi alhamd, yani, for them, yani, and shukran for those who assisted us in this process. Yani, may Allah guide them, even if they did not reach this point of puberty of hulum. Okay, they did not get to extract the garment of the Isha in Surah An-Nur. Okay, it's all allegoric. It's not, it's metaphysical. But Allah must access that code for you, not an alama or a maula or a only Allah, because He alone is the author, man. You don't need anybody except Allah now, because He is the author of the book. And that is what Allah accesses, makes it available for you in Qiyamah. When you are in the Qiyam, now your parents are here, your great ancestors are here. En hulle soek vir julle. Hulle soek vir julle. Glo jy hulle my? Because for ons om vir hulle te voel as hartseer, because this is how you misled yourself into where you are currently thinking that this guy has lost his mind, but not knowing that you are suffering the consequences of not wanting to go internally to understand that everything was processed all the time internally in your conscious realm. Okay? MashaAllah, tabarakallah. That's why our ancestors, they were of the greatest of leaders, our khalifas, our members, because they were authentic, and hence we can today without conviction say that we have reached the condition of Qiyam, which we can say we can walk through it with open eyes, people. We don't have to close our eyes because we see with the nur of Allah. MashaAllah. You have lots of people in Cape Town that I personally know of, and that lives in this environment, in this condition. But you will not know them because only Allah gives you access to them. They're very normal people, man, ya Rabb. But they are living in these conditions and with the people that they need. And here is where the game is really going to start for us. Because, look, we are coming here to erect the house for our children, for the next tribes. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَائِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ. So there's a new qaida, there's a new baseline coming on. Okay? And it has no relevance to the past. It has no relevance to how you saw a past reality, because that past reality had collapsed. Okay? That's a dead civilization now. We don't subscribe to that. It doesn't resonate onto our frequency. So we have a new understanding of what prophecies is. Not men like the Middle Easterners made men. And where's the woman prophet then? Wat 'n God stuur net mans en hy die miracle is in 'n vrou dan. Sy geen aan geboorte, maar nou hoekom is hulle dominant op 'n man? That's what the patriarchs did, people. You don't know the game. We're not here to expel and expose people, because we are not here to fight anybody else's battles. We are here just to ensure that the children, the next 7 generations, are not hindered by this which the last generation was the cause of their own destruction. Okay? May Allah Ta'ala grant our great ancestors the nur of the samawat, and may Allah Ta'ala grant the Baytun Nur to see the expansion of the tribe as the samawat is مطويات بيمينه بإذن الله. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. شكرا جزيلا for your attention. May Allah put nur in your Baytun Nur. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
يا مصطفى كل شيء لله يا نورا من نور الله يا مصطفى